Hello, 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 guys. Bonjour, bonjour en français, en anglais. Hello, hello, hello. So my name is Angel Kaba. If you don't know me, my name is Angel Kaba, and I'm about to start an interview with two of my amazing students from Rider University. I had the opportunity, the pleasure to be their teacher for the last semester. I'm smiling because I'm so, hey coach, how are you? Because I'm so excited to, to have this conversation with my students. Two of my favorite students now. The school year is done. I can be transparent. So I'm gonna bring in Sydney. I think she's ready. All right. En français, en anglais, special interview with my students. Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Let's see if Jerome is online as well. Hello, hello, guys. Where are you tuning in? I see. Hi, Marcel. Hello.
Jerome.
Hey,
Hi, what's up, guys?
how are you guys? I miss you.
I know it's crazy, right?
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're
That's it,
college
right?
grads. Yeah, it's over.
Woohoo.
It's done. Crazy.
How was the graduation day?
It's honestly really nice. Our ceremony was 30 minutes long. We were in and out. It was really, really
Mhm.
quick. It was great.
30-minute long? Oh,
hmm
Yeah,
wow. It was fast.
hmm
yeah, but it was actually very put together. They had like all of their ducks in a row. Like it was very organized. So
Right.
Love it, love it. All right, guys. So introduce yourself for the rest of the world. You have people from Europe here, people from Africa, from the Caribbean, New York. So introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Jerome, you go first.
all right. Hi, I'm Jerome Stephen Manning. I'm just graduated from Rider University as a musical theater major. The plan now, I'm gonna go to Atlanta and I'm gonna do some film and television work while also doing theater and just really everything. I'm a performer, so I really love to dance, sing, act, edit, choreograph. I love it all. So, yeah, excited to be here with one of my favorite teachers ever, Kaba. Thank you for having me.
You're gonna make me blush. Thank you, Jerome. Sydney, who are you? I don't know you. What are you doing here?
Hi, everyone. My name is Sydney Roy. I also just graduated with my BFA in musical theater from Rider University. I am originally from Fort Worth, Texas. My plan now is to stay around the New Jersey area. I may be backup singing for some people, maybe hopping into the studio, doing some vocal stuff. But yeah, just working, getting that money, trying to move to New York, establishing my footing as an adult. That's kind of the plan right now. But I'm so excited to be here with Miss Kaba because Homegirl changed my life. I love Miss Kaba. Everyone should take a class with Miss Kaba. We respect her more than she even knows, and she's changed all of our lives. So it was an honor to be
Oh,
here.
you're gonna make me cry. So,
Oh, my sister is
question,
here. Hi, Amanda.
please. I have some makeup, so don't make me cry today.
Okay.
So how was like briefly the last 4 years of your lives as students?
Briefly.
Literally, wow.
um,
Let's go, Sydney. You go first.
we came to college in 2017, fall of 2017. And I mean, I was a completely different human being. Like, was so scared to talk in front of people. I wasn't confident as a performer. I like didn't really know how New Jersey or New York like worked because I'm from the South, and I was a very different person. I learned how to connect with people. I learned how to talk to different people from different backgrounds. I learned how to respect people in a way that I've never learned how to do that before,
Mm.
because in college, it's like you form your own opinions and you're allowed to discuss them without question. And that was kind of the first time that I didn't have an adult like looking over my shoulder being like, oh, you probably shouldn't say that. And so there was times where I said things I shouldn't have said, or I did things I shouldn't have really done. And so I learned a lot about myself, not only as a person, but also as an artist. And especially being a Black student, at a university that is mostly white, it was also a time to navigate what my Blackness looked like inside of an artistic space, and not being afraid to take up space as a Black woman inside of a classroom, inside of a show, inside of an audition. Like, all of that combined is what I learned in 4 years. And Jerome and I were a part of a group of Black artists that did a show called Upon the Shoulders We Stand. And I think that that's like where I found my Blackness, a lot of it, and my appreciation for being Black, because at the school that we went to, it was kind of hard to navigate it because there was nobody that was Black that you had as a mentor. I mean, Miss Kaba was our literal first Black teacher at Rider, and we had her when we were seniors. So it was just a lot of learning about who I am and what I like and what I want to do, and then finding my groove inside of musical theater and kind of finding my niche. And now I think I found it, but I'm still figuring it out. But it was also Miss Kaba's class that helped me find a lot of confidence in my body, and allowing myself to take up space. That was a big thing during class. I didn't dance big enough. And so I learned that I can use my entire space and not be afraid to do that. So yeah.
I remember yelling at you, Sydney, stop marking. Sydney, bend your knees. So Jerome, for you, how was the experience at Rider? Did you feel any differences or any experience, because you're Black, or anything about, how was the experience for you at Rider?
Right. Definitely 4 years of experience gotten. I came in very, I feel like either just at our school or every musical theater school, you kind of come in like wanting to please and wanting to be like, I want to be the best, or I want to like, please like me, please cast me, blah, blah, blah. And by like mid sophomore year, I kind of got over that, and I was like, I'm just gonna do what I like and and I'm just gonna I'm not gonna worry about getting cast. I'm gonna worry about going and doing my best work, and not even being liked. I'm gonna go in and do my best work. I'm gonna go in and have fun, and I'm gonna go in and just really enjoy what I'm doing. And that was a huge difference, because I see even throughout my junior, even some through senior year, we're still kind of like, why don't they like me? Why don't they like me? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you're trying too much to be what they want rather than just being yourself. So that was one major change. And then I also learned how to, being a Black individual, how to speak up for and take space in that regard. And I'm also gay, so being unapologetically gay as well, and taking up some more space with both of those. And I realized sometimes I'm gonna have to, not only with my peers, but I'm gonna have to take that space up with authority figures, because a lot of times people, especially in schools, because you're dealing with teachers, they think they kind of know more, when a lot of times they're dealing with just white students, and they didn't have this. And so a lot of this year, senior year, I had to really push back and be the voice that I really wanted somebody else to be, but nobody was there to be. So yeah, I think Rider really taught me, or just the last 4 years really taught me to, if you really feel something, to really say it and take your space, because if other people have the audacity to take space, you should.
I like how you straight, like both of you guys, definitely, but at the same time, straightforward. I love it. I just love it. I mean, now I'm Angel. I'm not your teacher. Guess maybe I will be your teacher forever, but you know what I mean. So, but I was like, oh my God, this one, and he and she. I was like, so I'm glad you guys accepted to do this interview with me today. So, how was the online experience overall? So, was it hard? Was it challenging? Did you like certain aspect of it? Like, I remember sometimes Jerome, like, literally taking class from his bed. And I'm like, Jerome, sit down. So how was the online experience for you, Sydney?
I think it was good and bad in multiple ways. It was like taking a math class online. I can take that stuff, like laying in bed, watching it happen. Like that was pretty nice, but it was really hard to do a dance class on Zoom. Yeah. Because there's like this thing that you cannot describe about being in a dance studio with other people, and it's so encouraging, and it was really hard for me to gusto up that encouragement in my own living room. by myself. Even though I could see everybody on a square, it was like, it didn't feel the same. I still learned a ton. Like I didn't think I was going to learn as much as I did. So I'm really thankful that I realized that I can learn that much online. So going forward, I'll be able to take a class online and know that I will learn something from it. But I did really miss being in a dance studio and feeling the energy of everybody around me, especially being an artist. It's like I play off of people's energy all the time. And so it was really hard for me to like not feel stifled or stuck. But I still had a great, I think the hardest thing for me to do on Zoom was voice lessons, because it was like, connection, microphones, they'll never know what you actually sound like in person when you're online. And so there would be things that my voice teacher would, like notes that he would give me, and I'd be like, I thought that I did that, or maybe you didn't hear it through the microphone, or maybe my internet cut out while I was doing that. It was like really confusing. But I think we all found like exactly where we needed to have our camera and exactly where we needed to self-tape. And there was all these tools that we got to take with us leaving the school, which I'm really happy about, because, now I can go to my new apartment and self-tape a ton of stuff and send it off and audition and be prepared.
We all learn about this online new experience slash artist slash creative slash everything. It's just, woo! Even as a teacher, it was very challenging to keep the focus, and then also to give you guys like equal like attention, like making sure also like the content was like, online friendly. Because I know you guys are online 24/7. I'm like, they're tired of being in front of the Zoom. So as a teacher, I kind of reinvented myself as well to come with like a interactive, entertaining, informative, all of the above, class. With that being said, so what did you know before taking my class that kind of reinforce or reassure you about certain experiences that you had, or maybe things that you knew, or maybe different point of views that you're like, oh, I see, okay, I see what she's saying, Jerome.
Could you say that again? My screen freezed.
Yeah, sure. So, what did you know before my class, right, before taking my course, that kind of reinforces your point of view, your opinion, or maybe certain experiences you had before you like, yeah, I understand what she's saying. Yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, yes. Well, from the get-go, from the beginning of your class, you were saying, how does the movement feel within you? Like, how do you be authentically, like, your biggest note, I feel like, was, I didn't see you. Like, you didn't show me enough of you. And I feel like so many, and I don't know about your class, Cindy, but in my class, a lot of people were struggling with that. And I didn't struggle as much, because I feel like what I told you guys at the beginning, how around my sophomore year, I was just doing stuff for me. I started doing stuff for me and just finding out who I was as a person, because I was feeling very artificial as a performer. And I feel like the people who kind of got away with that, with pleasing the teachers, and then the teachers giving them praise for that, I feel like it kind of continued through the senior year. And so when you were like, who are you? They were like, what do you mean? I'm doing what you want. I'm doing what you're telling me. Like, I'm being me. And I just feel like being in your class really reinforced that feeling of like, dig into it more. Like, you feel like yourself, all right, do more. Now, do not put yourself within the context of hip hop. Now put yourself in the context of jazz. And I just felt like that lesson for me will always be there, because now I know what that, I knew how it felt, but I couldn't put words to it. And now I know that it's just my authentic energy. That feels so right. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Sydney?
I mean, I completely agree with Jerome, but I think the thing I took out of it was more on the historical side of like, it came from Black voices. It needs to continue to amplify Black voices as it continues to grow and evolve. And the most frustrating...
talking about, just for the people who are going to watch the video, we're talking about hip hop, the hip hop culture, like in general. And then my course was exploring hip hop and street dances. So Sydney is referring to the hip hop culture in general. Go ahead.
And my class was mostly white. I was one of two people of color in my class. And I was like one of the only people that kind of knew what Miss Kaba was talking about at the beginning of class. Like, we like talked about all of these street dances, and I'm biracial. And so I remember going to my aunt's wedding when I was 6 years old and learning how to do the Cabbage Patch and learning how to do all of these street dances that I thought were normal. And I'm like, none of these people on this Zoom know what we're talking about. And that was an essential element of my childhood. That was like a building block in who I am as a person. And so I think what really clicked for me is like, this is something that is in my DNA. This is who I am. Hip hop is me. It is my dad. It is my aunt. It is my cousins. It is all of us together collectively, because this is our story being told over and over and over again. And I'm a very activist kind of person, and I
can tell. I can tell. I remember before the interview with Tyler, I was like, there is one or two students, but I was talking about you. Of course, I couldn't say your name or whatever. I was like, one of my students, she's very like, she has an opinion, and I'm pretty sure she will tell you like about Black experience. He's like, oh, okay, I got you. I'm like, yeah. So make sure like you're ready.
Yeah,
it's exactly.
I asked about it. Exactly what I did. Yeah. And as I said at the end of class, I was like, now I have all of this knowledge, and for me, like, knowledge is a weapon, and knowledge is power. And going forward, like, I now will be able to be like, oh, we're not going to do that. Oh, that's not correct. Oh, we'll have to know where this came from in order to respect it. And I have that power now to be able to take up the space and be like, hold on a second, let's be quiet for a second and listen to where it came from, instead of just trying to copy it and put it on Broadway. Because we talked about that a lot in our class too. Miss Kaba asked one day, like, what is, do you see hip hop on Broadway? I was the only person in my class to say no. I was like, no, it is not on Broadway. It is not Hamilton. Hamilton is jazz. That is not hip hop. And everybody was like, well, I think that the prom is hip hop. I was like, no, Miss Girl, it is not. And over the course of the semester, they learned like, oh, that isn't hip hop. But at the beginning, they were like, yeah, that's hip hop. Mean Girls is hip hop.
I remember.
And all of this. And now I'll be able to be like, see what Miss Kaba was talking about in our class? We have to keep that going, all of us, as we continue into the industry, because there's a lot of people in the industry that don't respect Black voices or respect where it came from. And we gotta shut that down and get it going.
You do that because you guys have the power. Me, I have like, whatever. So I'm continuing to do my class. I'm supporting you. That's why I'm like, I wanted to do this interview for the rest of the world, to get to know more about you. But for you, Jerome, what you didn't know though? What did you learn from my class you absolutely didn't know? Like really, it was like really like life-changing situation. Like, oh my God, I even maybe made a few research after the class or stuff like that.
Girl, the whole of how literally hip hop started, like, you're like, one of the hardest things for Zoom was to just pay attention, because like there were so many other distractions, especially with a Mac, you could go and text people. But like your hip hop class, I was always so like focused, just because I felt like it was my history, and it was like I owed it. Okay, cool. My internet. I just felt like I owed my attention to that, and just like from the beginning, when you literally taught, I really thought it was gonna be like a hip hop course. We come in, we dance, we leave, like most other dance courses we do, and then maybe some history stuff here and there. But like from the get go, you started out with like the history from the beginning, and like how colonization had a hand in that, and how it came from other like Jamaica and all these other places, and just that I will always take with me, because I just found that I didn't know that, and like hip hop is in every, this is my spiel that I do every time. Hip hop is in every part of mainstream culture today.
Definitely.
And we don't even understand where this culture came from, or even respect where it came from, or are doing anything to help where it came from today. And so I just found that and I did so much research about that after, because it was so interesting about even the Biggie Smalls and Tupac. That was so interesting. Yeah, I knew about it, but I didn't know the depths of it, and like just And so I would say just learning about the how it started, how it grew, and how like even today we don't realize or respect where it comes from. I think that was really the line between appreciation and appropriation. I think you did a study job with that. And I just loved learning about like a culture that I'm literally a part of, and that is really our mainstream like culture today. So I'm excited to like continue, like Sydney said, to like call people out, like, do you know where this came from?
Remember when I think I said something like, I don't know, one of the students said like, yeah, I danced. I was like, Are you sure? Don't make me embarrass you like in the Zoom. You know when people's like, oh, I've been taking class. I've been taking hip hop for 8 years. I'm like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, guys, if we were in the studio together, like it would be a lot of jokes and laughing because I'm very dramatic and I'm very strict, but also cool at the same time. So I put you back in your place, but at the same time, you have fun. So I like to do that because I feel like, I mean, my students deserve, for me, the same respect I deserve as a teacher. I don't feel like because I'm a teacher, I know better and you have to respect me, da da da. I like feeling uncomfortable sometimes and I have to, check myself to just be the best person when I come in front of you. So I really, love and consider my students a lot. Like, without you, there is no point for me to be a teacher. So I felt like you guys really helped me, to stay focused, with questions. I was like, oh. Sometimes I had to Google, you stretch, and I was Googling, or make sure like you pronouncing well in English and stuff like that. It was too funny. So, Sydney, what was the funniest moments do you remember about the class? It doesn't need to be my class, but something funny about the class, being online or whatever.
So many moments. I remember one moment in particular. So we there was one point where we learned like multiple things in a week. Like we learned some street dances, like we were doing like the nae nae and all of that kind of stuff, and then we learned like a combo. And there was Miss Kaba asked one of my classmates to like demonstrate the combo, but she thought she was demonstrating the street dances, and she was she was gunned up, ready to go. She's like 5, 6, 7, 8, and she like started doing the whip, and it was like that was not what we were supposed to be doing. And she was like full out, no mark doing it. And Miss Kaba was like, whoa, 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 wait a second. What are you doing? What are you doing? And that was like everyone's favorite line of the class. We all used to be like, what are you doing? What is that? What is that? What are you trying to do? And it was like, it wasn't even embarrassing. It was just like, she completely did the wrong thing. And Miss Kaba was like, what is that? Because that's not what I told you to do. So let's go ahead and do what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Love it. What is that? This is something that I say.
What is that?
Doing? What is that? I don't understand. No. I'll be just like, you give your opinion, I'm listening, and I'm like, that's interesting. When I say that interesting, is I don't know if it's good. Very interesting.
Or there was one day where we had we started to go into African dance, and as I previously stated, a lot of us didn't know how to move that way, and so all of us looked ridiculous on Zoom. And Miss Kaba did not fail to tell us that we looked ridiculous. She'd be like, you're doing that wrong. Try again. What are you doing? No, go back, start over. And she's like, Sydney, what are you doing? She's like, Sydney, you look like you're twerking. This is not twerking. Don't twerk. I was like, I'm sorry. This is the only thing I know how to do. I'm sorry.
My favorite line is I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm seeing. What are you doing?
What am I seeing?
I'm not seeing you. I don't
understand.
Yo, oh, that's too funny. I was not expecting to laugh like that. Yo, I don't realize how crazy I am when I teach. I'm just so passionate. I remember I was in Harlem, I was teaching, and it was a bunch of people. It was like a free workshop, whatever. And I was so passionate, and I was teaching a step or whatever. And then I stopped and I said, this line will follow me forever. Do I look Irish? And they all look at me like, do I look Irish? And they're like, they didn't know what to say, right? I'm like, this look like Irish dance. I don't do Irish tap dance. Something like that. But when I started by saying, do I look Irish? It was crazy. I'm like, why did I even say that? It was too funny though. But no reference against, Irish people. It was just like, I was teaching some footwork and this lady did something that looks like Irish tap dance. Mm-hmm. And then I stopped and I said, do I look Irish? But it was 100 of people like looked at me like, what is wrong with her? So yeah, sometimes I could say stuff that are very funny. Yeah. Oh, that's funny though. Oh my God. There's a lot of funny. I don't know. I think it was the funniest. It was like, I think it was Dante. I don't know what he did.
Oh, of course.
And I just love, Dante is just one of the best. And I was like, I don't understand. And I really wanted to understand it. No, I don't understand. I kind of, no. Mm-mm. Don't try again. I just love him. So, what was the worst though? What was the worst experience that you guys had to face during, like, COVID, being online, etc., etc.? Oh, I remember when that guy came on the campus.
Yeah, scary.
Yes,
Scary.
at home, but that is scary.
That was scary as F. Whatever. What was the worst experience for you guys? The worst. It doesn't need to be funny though. It can be serious a little bit.
The worst in COVID or on Zoom, in doing Zoom class.
Whatever. Whatever. The worst experience that you remember of. Oh, that's good. I mean, you don't. I mean, yeah, cool.
um,
All right.
Yeah,
You're shy. You don't want to. Okay.
I guess the worst experience was at the beginning of the year. All of the students got together and did this whole forum to call out our faculty on all of the racism and homophobia, transphobia, kind of sexual harassment that was going on inside of our program. And as you can imagine, like, that is not only traumatizing, but also it takes a lot of courage
Yes.
and effort. And Jerome and I were in that group together, and we stayed up. It was like a student coalition kind of thing, where we were kind of like the leaders of the initiative. And we did this whole thing on Zoom, and it was all cute. And we did a little protest. Everyone turned off their camera. It was like until they hear us. And we really thought that we were getting somewhere, right? And yesterday I saw the incoming freshman class, and all of them are white.
yeah. So
And I said, well, we did all of that work to call them out and tell them, you need to have Black teachers here. They give us Miss Kaba, which is great. We had a great experience with Miss Kaba, and Miss Kaba will probably be the only person they hire. They won't hire anybody else probably. And we talked about, we need to bring in more people of color into the program. And then you see the banner and nothing has changed. And so I think the worst thing for me is like looking back on this year and how we tried so hard to get things done and to be activists and to move forward with something, and they didn't even listen. They weren't even receptive. And it's like, it hurts as a Black student, because I spent $60,000 a year to go to that school. And as much as I learned, I didn't get as much as I could have gotten out of that school because of all the problems that were going on inside of the program. And not only that, students were turning on each other left and right. Like, students were backing up faculty that don't even deserve to be backed up. Students weren't believing other students. Students were condemning other students' stories. Like, it was really scary. It was like you would go to class and you would watch a student like brown nose a professor that was like in deep, deep trouble. And you sat there and you were like, why are you doing that? Like, this person has no weight inside of the industry in reality. If you really think about it, there are thousands of people that work in this industry, and they are one person, and this person does not matter. And that was easy for me to grasp, and I'm sure it was easy for Jerome to grasp, because both of us were like, F this faculty, like, F you, I'm done. But for a lot of students, it was like they still wanted to be liked or approved, or they wanted to please all of our senior year. And so it just felt like there wasn't it didn't feel like we were a community anymore. It felt like this or that. It was like, it felt like there were sides. So that was really frustrating and sad. But I'm leaving the school, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to call them out when I'm an alumni. So, they'll still be getting an email from me whenever the time may come.
Period.
I love it. Well, go ahead. You want to say something, Jerome? Go ahead.
I was just saying, you're getting the tea today.
Yo,
Big
yeah,
tea.
I was not ready for that, but yes, I'm kind of ready all the time. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I can understand. I can only imagine, because I'm a teacher. I'm on the other side. But what I can say is, it's very hard to make changes like that. It takes time.
Absolutely.
And even like you felt like you were not heard or appreciated or whatever, I believe the change will happen. It will just take times and years. So don't be too disappointed about it, because you did something big. and you definitely impacted certain people. Maybe you don't know. Maybe they will never tell you. Maybe in 10 years we will get an email from this person saying, remember we had this, disagreement, miscommunication. Here I am somewhere in Kenya in a safari. No, I'm joking. But I'm pretty sure like you impacted people, and yeah, it just takes time. I'm a part of certain committees now, for change and stuff like that. And I am realizing how hard it is to really move, things, institutions that have been in place for years and hundreds of years. You don't change it like that. But there's a lot of things. Yes, money, control, power, narrative, branding, marketing. There were so many things that we cannot change just like that. But I'm pretty sure like you guys, by just being, a writer at the time, we were all, living in, I'm pretty sure like you guys will create history. You did. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, my last question for you guys is, do you feel ready to be an artist and share your art with the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Well, yes, go ahead, Jerome. Go ahead. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Like, especially with this year, kind of like with what Cindy was talking about with all that stuff. I just, not all the professors. I would say I do like you. I do love you, and well, you also weren't really a part of it. But like some teachers, I do kind of love still, but a lot of them still, I'm like, ugh. But this year really realized like even the people who are in charge or know what they're quote unquote doing sometimes really don't. And so like you really got to start with, I'm at the age where like I really have to start relying on the knowledge I've been given, because I already paid like how much money to get all this knowledge, so I have to really start believing that I have it. So yeah, I just felt this year so stagnant in place. I was like, okay, like I'm with these teachers, they're fine, but like I feel like I'm ready just to do my own thing and be in the same lane as like professionals. Even if I'm failing, I'll still fail learning up. Like I'll be learning something as I fail, whereas I'm here at school feeling like I'm doing school productions, which is fine, but like they're school productions. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah. You want to do, real stuff, real work, and just be Jerome in the world and be like,
Exactly.
hey, this is me, and experiencing life, and yes and no, and wins and disappointments and everything. I mean, yeah, I personally, as a teacher, yes, you are ready. Definitely go do you. Don't forget about me. I'll be like in the back. I know him. I know him. No, you don't care? All right, okay, I do care.
You're in all.
What about you, Sydney? Are you ready to be an artist? I mean, you already are, but be like a professional adulthood.
I think
Everything.
I think I'm ready. I'm definitely a little scared, but I think that comes with it. But as Jerome was just talking about with like doing school productions, I feel like musical theater school or just like going to college in general puts you in a box of like, especially, I mean, in musical theater school, there's like people go off and do these things and they show you like only like what 4 people do, 4 alumni. And there's hundreds of alumni. They do so many different things. There's so many different ways to be creative and be an artist. Like you can go to Atlanta, like where Jerome is going, and you can create amazing art in Atlanta. There's not only New York and LA. There's Texas. There's Washington. You can go wherever you want to go and you can create something for yourself. And I think this year was the first year that I felt comfortable realizing that maybe New York is not where I want to go. Maybe I want to go somewhere else. Maybe I want to be spontaneous and move to LA. Maybe I want to, and this is the time of my life, I'm 22. Like I can go wherever I want to go. There's no map. And I think that I tried to make a map for myself and tried to make a plan. And it was like, this is the time of my life where I don't need to make a plan. I need to go with the flow and go with what I'm feeling, go with my heart. And right now it's like, New York is probably not what I need to be doing right now. As a bigger sized Black woman, I'm probably not going to be on Broadway tomorrow. And even though and this is also a year where I figured out like, I am really talented. It's just like, it's who is able to digest me is a different thing. It's like, I know that my whole 4 years at this school, I was one of the best. Jerome was also one of the best at our school, but I didn't know that because I wasn't praised like everybody else was at my school. And I know now that I'm a good singer, I'm a good dancer, I can act, and I'll be able to take up my space wherever the space will allow me to take it up. And if it's not New York, then that's okay. If it's not LA, then that's okay. I'll find it. I'll figure it out. But I'll follow you. Whatever you do, I'll be like,
So,
Yeah. So
that's me.
I'm more excited about the journey and where
Yeah.
it's gonna take me than trying to figure out like be on Broadway or get an album out or whatever, because I know there are people that will listen to my voice. There are people that will watch me come perform. Like I'll have support wherever I go. So that's like encouraging me right now.
All right.
Yes.
What is the advice you guys can give to future students, future university students, not only writer, but in general, like
Mm.
what will be your words to encourage them? And yeah.
I'd say know what you bring, and then also be know what you bring and be ready to work on what you need to bring, if that makes sense.
No.
Okay,
What is that? I
let me
don't understand.
rephrase that. Miss Kaba Angel. I'd say um know what you bring and work on it until it's perfect.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, just because I know people kind of come in, bring something, and then somebody says, "Oh no, it's bad," and then they think it's bad.
Mm.
Like I feel like I came in and people are like, "Oh, this isn't good," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm working on it," but I know it's there. And rather, and people are just like, "Oh," once they came in, like, "Oh, I'm not a good actor. Cool, I don't like acting." Like, and like, as people came in with dance, I'm not a dancer. That's why you had so many people in my
Yeah. I remember.
dance. I'm not a good dancer because freshman year they were, especially some people who like literally thought they were dancers. They came in freshman year and somebody was like, "Oh, you're not a dancer," and so come senior year, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm not a dancer. Sorry." But you were like, so I'm saying like come into the school, know what you bring, and working on that, and don't let anybody like tell you what you don't believe, if that makes sense.
That's a good advice. That's a very good advice. Like your final that you submitted, like made me cry. I watched it twice and I was crying. I was like,
So
this
good.
kid is so talented. Like,
Thank you.
damn. I was like, whew, I cannot wait for you to just take over the world and be like, hey, bitches. I'm here. Sydney, the last word you would like to say about this interview, about Sydney, where to find you, and then yeah, that's it. Finito. Bye bye.
Oh my gosh, that's sad. Um, oh, I thought I was giving advice. I'll talk
You
about it
can.
later.
You
Okay.
can.
I completely agree with what Jerome said. That's very important. I also would say don't apologize
Oh
for
yeah,
being who you are,
Yes.
because this industry,
that
and
one.
if you go into a program that it'll make you feel like you have to apologize for who you are. I'm sorry I'm not a
Yeah,
dancer. I'm sorry I'm not an actor. I'm sorry I'm not a singer. But in reality,
that used to
they
upset me throughout
so
the
much,
semester. Why are
so
you
much.
saying that?
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, and it's like that was something that was hardwired into our brains. Like we literally thought that we had to apologize because we were a triple threat. When in reality, I would always step back and be like, they accepted me into this program when I was 18 years old, and now I'm 20. There has to be some growth from 18 to 20, and there was. And as hard as they are on you, you have to understand that you're in this spot for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. This is what you're destined to be doing. And it's also okay to change your mind. If you go to a school and you're like, yeah, this is not my vibe, I want to leave. Leave. It is your life. Like, I think that's the craziest thing about college, is like that's when you realize that your life is actually your own, and it's like, oh, my parents don't control me anymore. What is this? I don't have a curfew. What is this? I can make my own choices, my own financial choices, all of that. It's very overwhelming because it all happens at one time. But the thing I wish somebody would have told me, number one, do not apologize for who you are, because I wasted a lot of years apologizing and keeping my head down and having my shoulders hunched and not being proud of who I am and trying to be the white girl next to me than being the awesome Black woman that I am. And now I know that it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to not want to go to New York. It's okay to go to Atlanta. It's okay to make your own path for yourself. And as long as you're secure with you, because at the end of the day, you're the only person that you have to live with for the rest of your life. So make the choices that you want to see. Make the path that you want to see, instead of what your mom wants or what your dad wants or what your family wants. It's what you want. It's all about you. So yeah.
Only 22 years old, man. This one, your future husband or whatever you like to do, be this person needs to be like strong,
Ready to come. Let's go.
mentally, like woo. No joke with Sydney, bro. I'm just saying. All right. So thank you so much, Jerome. Jerome. I remember when I was pronouncing your name the first class, we're like, oh my God, I love your accent.
Yes.
So Jerome, thank you so much for this interview, Sydney. I wish you all the best, guys. Hope to see you in person in New York. Thank you, Alyssa. Alyssa, she was commenting in the
Queen.
chat.
I love Alyssa.
Yes, and then thank you so much to my writer students. You all made me be, I feel like a better person, a better teacher, and a better person. Point. Yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for your time. Love you guys. I'm gonna repost it. So rewatch yourself and be like, oh shit, did I say that?
Oh, of course, I'm gonna be scared.
Oh, I love you too, Alyssa. All right, bye bye, guys. Thank
Bye.
you.
You.